The bell had sounded, the jury deliberated, Commander Masters had released and officially flopped, and no Magic the Gathering set comes out and performs better post-release. Right? As we commit to tracking a set like Commander Masters, it's important to put some personal biases aside and follow the data. Now, those of you that have been around the channel for some time know that personally, I haven't been a big fan of Commander Masters. I don't like the price point. I don't like that it panders to a community that needs one-ofs, and I truly believe that Wizards of the Coast changed how enthusiasts enjoy Commander. Rather than having 4 high-powered decks, you got 22 to 42 low-powered, fun, thematic piles that you love to sit around and play. But Commander Masters seems to be doing the unthinkable. So today we have sales data that is every single sold listing from sealed product from TCG Player, and we are going to go through the data and look at how Commander Masters might be taking a bit of a turn. What I have for you here is the sales data. This is the visual representation of every single sold listing of sealed product from TCG Player as of the recording of this video. Now, we have some important factors here that we have to dig into, so I want to do that today, and then after that, I want to give you some of my thoughts. Why are some of these things happening? But let's take a look at the overall sales data. We see that 17,818 boxes have been sold. That is a much higher number than the last time we looked as the official release date. We did that on the live stream on Friday Morning Magic. If you haven't tuned in yet, every Friday morning, 8 a.m. Central Time, we go over a bunch of stuff. We have a great time, and we talk about magical news for the week and stuff we get to talk about over the weekend. It's a great time. I suggest you tune in. But this number of boxes is heavily carried, as we can see, by the Commander deck. Still the shining star of this set. The Commander decks are blowing all of the other products out of the water, and we are seeing, if we look at the second pie chart in the middle, like we saw last week, a more even distribution of those Commander decks. People are not just buying the Eldrazi and buying the Slivers. Yes, they're still the vastly most popular deck, but instead of representing 5 and 6% of the pie, respectively, the Planeswalker and Enchantments deck are boosted up to around 18 and almost 16% of all Commander decks sold. Now, the surprising product here, real quick before we touch on some of the new news, is still the deck sets. The deck sets are selling in large number, meaning people are choosing to buy all 4 Commander decks, whether it's getting the better deal on the one that they want and then selling off the other 2 or keeping them sealed in the pod. I'll let you decide. Let me know in the comment section below. But the deck set is still the surprise product that I see here. Another surprise that we had seen in the previous weeks was the Set Booster Box. Set Booster Box is an all-star when it comes to Magic the Gathering product. We love the Set Booster Box because we love cracking packs. Well, Commander Masters seems to be the exception, not the rule, and a $400 to $500 perceived Set Booster Box is not something us as a community are willing to absorb. We have put our foot down and said nope, and we have turned on the Set Booster Box. You can see that as only 11% of all product that has gone out the door is a Set Booster Box. It is important to note that from a Wizards of the Coast perspective, this set has sold $2.6 million worth of product just on TCG Player alone. Imagine all of the fees that TCG Player is collecting from these poor game stores. But there is a big surprise, and Commander Masters is doing something that we have never seen a Magic the Gathering set do, and that's what I want to spend some time on today. I did this little addition to our data. If you take a look at the right side of the screen, right next to my beautiful face here, and if you like my beautiful face, consider checking out channel memberships. You get more of me, exclusive content, emotes that are like the Hometown TCG for me, Hometown TCG not for me. You got the data emote. Make sure you check that out because it helps support the channel. It's only $5 a month. Like, $5 a month gets you a ton of stuff, and I really appreciate you guys checking it out. Like, come on, if you're not at least like giving it a look, what are you doing? Give it at least a look. But what I did is I made this information here, and I really think this tells one of the more interesting stories of Commander Masters. Now, looking at the draft boxes, starting at the bottom of the list, it is worth noting that I theorize that TCG Player is not the best avenue to sell draft boxes. Draft boxes finally serve their one true purpose. They are just products to play Magic the Gathering. When you buy them on TCG Player, you have to have 5 other friends to get together, or even, you know, that's even a low draft pod. You have to have 7 other friends to get together. You have to sit down. You have to find a time to draft. You have to then divvy up the money, however that goes. It's just not a great way to experience draft. You should rather go to your local game store and draft. Set boxes, however, we see are following the trend that we just discussed. They are selling, people are buying set boxes, but not in very good numbers. As of 8/7, there were 50 set boxes sold, 8/6, 35, 8/5, 40, and on release day 8/4, 107. Release day is the big one. But I want to point your attention to that 8/7 number. That 8/7 number is interesting to me because it indicates a possible turn in our interest in the set. And the reason that I believe it indicates a possible turn is we see an uptick across the board of all products, and we see the biggest uptick and the biggest kind of surge in interest from our community in the most affordable entry point for sealed product. If you're like, hey, I just want a sealed box. How much money do I need to have in my hand to have a sealed box? You're going to be looking at the collector box, and it's interesting to note the collector box saw the biggest uptick in product sold on 8/7. This collector box on 8/7 hit about $178. Yes, I know, this is bad. And we can talk about collector box EV. I just mentioned those channel memberships a second ago. I did a channel member exclusive video doing kind of a dive into the EV of Commander Masters using a Mox Alpha tool. It's really neat. You can check that out. I'll make sure to put that video somewhere around here. So if you are a channel member, make sure you didn't miss that one. But the collector booster box here is a wild, like, breakthrough all-star showing up late. We're seeing 114 collector booster boxes sold in 8/7, and this to me indicates a bit of a turn. Now it's going to have to show over time. It can't just have a surprising day on TCG Player. There was no bonus bucks, there was no craziness, anything like that. Can't just have a surprising day. I'm gonna need to see this box hold out. And what I think this is a bigger indicator of is the fact that we as a community don't necessarily reject Commander Masters the idea or Commander Masters the cards. And 100% for us, just it is about the price. Like we have the numbers right here. And while Wizards of the Coast might be making money, there's the old adage, I would rather sell 100 boxes and make $1 than sell 1 box and make $100 because my business is a bit more bulletproof and yada, yada, yada. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole right now, but while they are making the money, it does indicate that there are fewer of us interested at a higher price point. So if we continue to see sets like this, and the 2024 to 2025 and even some of 2026 roadmap is officially out. We did a live stream looking over all that stuff, and for those of you that were there, know this roadmap is very exciting. But if everything on that roadmap that is exciting is priced at a premium level, I think we could see some trouble in the future. Wizards of the Coast has to stay true to its roots. It is a trading card game that everyone wants to engage with. And their statement at the start of that presentation was Magic is for everyone. Well, if that is the case, I hope that Wizards of the Coast chooses to put their money where their mouth is, and they don't have to make every product affordable. I understand there are going to be premium sets, and if you are in the comment section right now yelling at me about Wizards of the Coast doesn't know what they're doing, blah, 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 I'll know you didn't get this far, because we must admit Wizards of the Coast does give us some affordable products. That does happen. They just need to continue to do that, and if everything becomes premium and the price hike keeps going up, you know who's going to be left holding the bag? It's going to be your local game store, my local game store. When that happens, we are not going to continue to enjoy Magic like we always have. But Commander Masters does seem to be taking a turn, and it does seem to be due to the lower price point. I want to know what each and every one of you out there think of this set. Did you engage at all? Are you waiting for Wilds of Eldraine, which I personally am stoked for? Are you waiting till we hit 6,500 subs? Because if so, what are you doing? We hit 6,250. Click the sub button. Help this channel out a ton. I appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you share this video on social media platforms where you engage with Magic the Gathering discussion, because I think conversations like this are informative, they're fun, and they help us be better consumers. Until next time, you all know me. My name is Josh. I hope to see you around. We will see you later. Goodbye.